So settings right here. I have the interact default button hits off because I don't need that shit. If you're beginning, obviously keep your button hits on. Crosshair damage feedback off, I think. Got that on the stacking. Yeah, because I don't like that when it shows up with the X on it. It throws off my aim. Like if the X is on there while you're shooting, it just throws everything off for me. Stacking is my damage numbers. Ping default. I don't keep it a faded. Ping's fine. It doesn't bother my eye or anything like that. Bitrate is on. It's always good to know what your freaking what the kills are happening. You know how people are shooting. Blah blah blah. You can always see who's in the match and stuff like that. I don't know any reason why anyone would have the mini-map rotating. Just leave that off, so that way you could always just call north, south, east, west, which obviously that didn't happen because I wasn't talking to anybody, but you know, for future, if you're squatting up with people, it makes sense. Keep that on. Weapon auto cycle. Auto sprint off. I don't fuck with that. Double tap sprint off. If I'm going to sprint, I know when I'm going to sprint. I don't need it to hold or lock or anything like that. I usually keep the damage feedback to 3D. Taking damage. Closes the death box menu. It's smart, so that way you know that as soon as if you're looting and you get hit one time, you're out of that death box. You don't need to keep freaking looting while you're getting shot at anyway. Streamer mode is off because I like to keep names and stuff like that displayed. Usage sharing, I kept it enabled. I don't really think that matters because I don't care if EA collects data. Obviously, I'm not colorblind. Well, now you guys know I'm not colorblind. Otherwise, you probably would have figured it out if I would have had my colorblind mode on. Subtitles off, that's just distracting to me. Subtitle size, that shit doesn't matter. Controller, here comes the sensitivity. So the button layout I have is the button puncher because when I used to first play this game, I would always have that issue when I'm trying to sprint, slide, and stuff like that, and I end up like shooting and end up punching in the middle of a fight, which is the dumbest thing you could possibly do, and it's killed me plenty of times back in the day. And if you're sitting there like, what the fuck, why did I punch? Don't get me wrong, it still happens to me sometimes because I just get too excited. Sometimes I'll hit the wrong buttons and stuff like that, but since the punch and the slide are completely and totally switched, or crouch I should say. The crouch and melee are the only two things switched. So I suggest anyone that's having issues with the regular default, switch it to button puncher. You do not want to keep sitting there fighting and throwing punches in the middle of your shooting. And the only things that switch is your crouch and melee. So everything else is the same. It's not that big a difference. It'll just take some getting used to, but once you get used to it, it's a lot better. Interact, I just keep it normal, tap to use and reload, blah blah blah. Crouch button is going to be toggle. I don't like that hold bullshit. Aim button is going to be also hold. I don't like that toggle bullshit on that, like, not on aim. LR2 button dead zones, I keep that off. Menu cursor speed, obviously whatever the fuck you want it at. And also take these settings with a grain of salt. Like, whatever works for you is what works for you. My look sensitivity at 4, the default at 3. Per optics, 3, and all the 3 for the first 2 and 4s all the way down. Response curve is classic. Look dead zone none. Movement dead zone small. Inverted look off. I don't play inverted. If you do, fucking more power to you. If you are still playing with vibration on, turn that stuff off. Like, you don't need it. It helps so much with your aim. It's ridiculous. You'll see the difference. I don't mess with the advanced look controls. I leave that alone. Video, field of view is at 98. Sprint view shakes at minimal. Audio, whatever is best for you guys. It doesn't matter what my audio is, obviously. But yeah. So there's my settings. I'm gonna clip this eventually, so that way I can just set my Apex settings. I plan to make a Lucio settings video for you guys soon, but right now, just quick, those are all my settings. That's it. Nothing impressive, but obviously if you want to try those settings, go for it, but don't be afraid to tweak stuff to make you feel more comfortable, because no matter what happens, at the end of the day, you're holding that controller. So do what's best for you. Cool.